Hey guys, welcome to Hunkered Down with Seth. My guest today, somebody by any measure is one of the top stand-up comedian headliners across the nation. Somebody who has forgotten more credits than any comics would ever wish to have in their career. And on top of that, by my scale, the fourth nicest stand-up comic in the nation, Kermit Apio. Kermit, thank you for being on.
Thank you for way too much of an intro. That's way too much pressure.
Well, it's all true. I mean, fourth nicest comic, and you've been, you've been doing stand-up comedy for close to 3 decades. Is that correct?
Just over 3 decades. I realized that my first open mic, I believe it was December of '89. So I just passed 30 years doing comedy.
30 years, and you've been paying bills with stand-up comedy since when?
I would say about 28 years, I think. So,
28 years. So,
yeah.
so like I said, by any measure, one of the top stand-up comics in the nation. Book him, and but unfortunately, due to this quarantine thing, you've had a bunch of stuff canceled, correct? Uh,
Yes, right now they're canceled through like the second week of May about, that's going to be tough
yeah,
to figure something out. But
yeah. So let's get it out early. Where could people buy any CDs of you or any? Because I know you also have the Hawaiian guitar, as his slack string guitar. I've seen it. It's really calming. Definitely, you'll need some of that in your life with this. So, where can we find some of your stuff to purchase?
I don't have that much. Or on my website, which is ikerm.com, ikerm.com. I have CDs. I have audio CDs, but that's about it right now.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, when I
It's an audio copy CD.
yeah, physical CDs. So,
Yeah, so if you still have something that plays an audio CD, you know what? Actually, while I'm quarantined, while I'm sort of here at the house, I should probably work on making it a download.
yeah, definitely bring your stuff up to date. You know.
I can look it up, coming up with ideas.
Yeah, you also have some stuff on Betamax, I assume. Yeah. So when I scheduled you for this show, originally we were going to talk about Mariners opening day, and
Yes.
unfortunately that ain't happening. And we were also going to talk about some Sounders games. That's not going on. Uh,
Yeah.
so so really, it's an open forum, Kermit. What? So, well, what's new? Well, how are you passing the time?
Basically, just hanging out with my kids, which actually has gone better than I thought. Um, I have two teenage kids, and one of them is a senior, so it's very frustrating for her because, man, it's a lot of things that you look forward to in your senior year may not happen for her. So it's been very tough, but we've still had a good time, kind of just doing the fun things at the house, like everybody else. Trying to find
Yeah.
something on Netflix and trying to come up with ways to pass time.
Oh, nice. What are some interesting things you've done to pass time?
Well, we've been coming up with a little time killer video series. We've only done one so far, but we have some ideas. And it's basically a humorous look at families trying to pass the time, and it's up on my Facebook page.
Oh,
And I will put it up on YouTube page as well.
oh, nice. All right, and and your son, he's a basketball prodigy, unlike his father. um, sorry, I just can't. Everything, everything you are, your kids aren't in a positive way. I just want to, but
It's funny because when you first become a parent, you say that as a goal, right? You say that, well, you want your kids to do better.
yeah,
And when they do way better than you did, it's a little annoying. You're happy for them in a way, but you're also kind of like, slow it down. Let's not have better stories than your dad did in your freshman year. I mean,
Yeah.
kids, my son's, he got called up to varsity halfway through the season this year, and he's a freshman. And so I'm happy for him, but it's kind of like, man, I want you to do better than me, but don't pass me so quickly.
Yeah, not all at once, Hold back.
Yeah, give me at least a couple of glory days stories to hold on to.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, if he's that advanced, might just be a scholarship coming his way.
I hope so. He's also a smart kid, so he surprised me there. He gets good grades, and both the kids get good grades, and they're good athletes, and they're smart, and they're also really funny, which that bothers me too. But they step in my kitchen there.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? He's a freshman now, so we have a few years to see what that's going to be. But I tell you, man, for the kid who called up to varsity his freshman year, he does have some talent.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you showed me that, or showed everybody that thing on Facebook that had the freshman team and the varsity team. And what I thought was funny was it had your son's name on both sheets, but different heights. Like for the freshman, he was 5'9", but on the varsity, he was 6 foot.
Well, we never found out what exactly happened. But that was actually, he made the JV team at the beginning of the season, which was great. He was the only freshman to make JV. So, but when he got called to the varsity, he was playing in both the JV and the varsity games. So they had him on the official program lineup that they would print out and give to people who came to the games. And for some weird reason, and we never found out why it happened, and it never got corrected. So every game, you would see his name in the JV roster as a 5'10" guard, and then on the varsity roster, he was a 6'3" forward. So just during warm-ups, he would grow 5 inches and switch position.
Well,
So, and they never corrected it. They stayed there the whole season, and we just thought it was the funniest thing. He's actually 6'1", so they sort of went on either side of his height for both of his teams.
yeah, I thought the varsity team played in heels. That was my guess.
Well, yeah, that's which, by the way, is really fun to watch. They just look good.
Yeah, those basketball shorts really do, give them Stockton shorts for varsity.
It just makes their calves pop.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the lipstick was taking it too far, but
Sure.
yeah. And by the way, I want to try to, since your son is a prodigy in basketball, I've become a Long Beach State fan, and just an early recruiting pitch from me. They play in a pyramid, and how often do you get to be in a pyramid in your life? So that's one selling point for Long Beach State.
They play in the pyramid?
Yeah. The Walter.
Wow.
It's like, how many times in your life do you have an opportunity to be in a pyramid? There's the Luxor in Egypt, and there's the Mexico Teotihuacan ruins. And, yeah, so just an early pitch. Tell your son he could play in a pyramid.
And only one of those 4 pyramids offers possible scholarships.
Well, if you get lucky at the Luxor, then you don't need a scholarship.
That's true. Vegas, there's a small percentage of getting a nice little scholarship there.
Yeah, of course. Well, I have some questions about your comedy career now. Some questions that I've been wanting to ask you, because I call you the "Don't Worry" comic. It's one of those things. Hey, we got a theater full of 1,000 people. Don't worry, we got Kermet. Or there's a room full of heroin addicts. Don't worry, we have Kermit. You're just so versatile, and I've been a fan of you the first time I've seen you. And would you like any more smoke blown up your butt, or is that good?
Yeah, that's impressive. That makes me staying at home for a month and a half go a lot easier. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, how many states have you performed in total?
47 right now. I'm missing Vermont and New Hampshire, the two up north, and West Virginia.
Oh, you haven't played the West Virginia Chuckle Hut yet? Think think that's a triple where you do Bozeman, then West Virginia, and then back over to Boise.
Yeah, man, the big comedy scene of Vermont has escaped me. So.
Oh, the Montpelier uh, Laughs Hut. Now, have you looked into performing in those states just to check them off the list?
You know, for a while I did because I stuck at 45 for a long time, and then I got Maine and North Dakota. I actually drove through briefly because in order to go, I had flown into Boston to do a thing. I got a gig in Maine, so I drove from Boston, and you have to kind of go through the bottom corner of New Hampshire to get to Maine. And so I've driven through New Hampshire, so I've been there, but I haven't performed there. So I was able to get Maine and North Dakota. That took me to 47, which is great because I was at 45 for a long time. And then a few years ago, I ran into a comic who I hadn't seen in years, and we were talking or catching up, and he said, "Hey, I have a question. Aren't you close to 50 states?" I said, "I'm at 47. He goes, "You know what? I got 50." And I went, "Congratulations, man. That is awesome." And he goes, "It is." He goes, "You know what I realized? Once you post it on Facebook, no one cares.
Yeah.
Like, they're so excited to hear the minute you post it. Like, oh, that's great." And then, yeah, so what? And then, then it never means much after that. The fact that you can say that, you can say, like, I've done all 50 states.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, that's a really interesting point. And he goes, "I'm not telling you not to do it." He said, "I'm just telling you, like, you feel like you're going to have some kind of badge, right? Like a Boy Scout badge."
Yeah.
Or, he said, you feel like you're coming into this new thing. It's going to be like this new level, and it's not. Like, no one cares. And he said, if you put it in your intro when you work the clubs, like, it almost sounds pompous,
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was like, okay, all right, I don't need to rush to do it. Like, it totally changed the way I looked at it, And I see his point completely. It made sense.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like getting a PhD in a field other than medicine, because you'll still be the doctor, but it really doesn't matter. You know, you'll just get an approving nod from the people in the know. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Young comedians will go, "Wow, that's really awesome. I'd like to do that someday." But for the most part, yeah, you're right. It's just kind of like, "Oh, great," and then let's talk about something else. Like, it's just nothing. And then the fact is, when people ask me, and I don't get that question a lot, but when people ask me, 47 is a nice little number to say. Now, is it worth me setting up 3 gigs where I lose money just to say 50? I don't know. I haven't been able to justify that. But ever since that conversation, man, it really made me realize, oh, yeah, okay, it's a big deal, but it's not that much bigger than 47.
Yeah.
Right? It's especially since the 47 happened organically. It's not like I'm like, okay, I need to get a gig in these last 5 states. It's just kind of happened, and I get offered gigs, or I try and get gigs, and they happen, and then and so the fact that this has happened without me trying to get 50 is kind of to me a really cool, cool idea. And now if 50 comes along, great, but man, I'm so glad I ran into it because it really took a lot of pressure off that number.
Definitely. But 50 is such a round number. I mean, 47 is a prime number. And you're absolutely right. it's it's an accomplishment, but it's just an accomplishment for the people in the know. But
Yeah.
but I think it's. I mean, if you get like a gig in Boston and decide just to turn it into like a little New England tour, then that'd be something. But
Yeah.
you know, then maybe you hit up the
Yeah.
Marshall campus.
But you're right. The fact is that 50, if you want to look at from a binary and divisibility issue, then 50 would be a better number. Even 48 gives you a lot of divisibility, right?
Yeah,
You get some 12s in there, and some 4s, you know. So it does give you a little like 47 is a kind of an odd standalone number.
yeah, but still, like you said, if you know, it's better just to happen organically. And how about this? How about how many provinces in Canada? Have you done
Uh,
Nunavut or Labrador?
that's 7 now?
7.
Yeah, I think well, is it 7 or 6?
Well,
I think it's 6.
well, there's. I mean, have you done Manitoba?
Um, yeah, so I'm trying to think. I think I have. Um, okay, so I'm trying to remember which ones are in Saskatchewan and which ones. I did Manitoba. I just can't remember what cities are in there. Um,
Let's see. I think
Winnipeg is in Manitoba.
I want to say Winnipeg.
Yeah, because that's where I got my awesome Winnipeg Jets sweater.
Ooh,
Is it in Manitoba?
I think so. But I love the Winnipeg Jets just because they came back. You know, it was awesome. You know, I want the Quebec Nordiques back and the Hartford Whalers back too. But the Jets, they're back.
Yeah, that's a big story there, and that's one of the reasons the awesome comics that I was working with. I was looking at that sweater, and I really loved it, but I don't want to spend up money on myself, you know.
Yeah,
And so they went back to the place and got it for me, and which was so nice. And it's a very cool. It's a because I love the new logo, but they were telling me what a big story it is in Canada. That they've lost how many teams years ago, and all of a sudden one of them came back. That was a huge thing, so I love that sweater so much. It's not just because I love the Jets logo, but that whole story is awesome. And the fact they and it's Winnipeg, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's it's not like it's not like you've got like Toronto has basketball and everything, and you get these bigger cities that have a lot going for them, but freaking Winnipeg. So I'm so glad they got them back.
yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at other teams like the Canuck. Vancouver has the Canucks, and then you got like historic teams. Calgary's got the Flames, and Toronto's got the
Yeah.
Maple Leafs. EAFS, not VES. Otherwise, you'll need that. You'll get punched in the face quicker in Toronto by saying it Maple Leaves than if you say Molson sucks. So,
I'm impressed that you know that. That's really man. That's really cool.
oh, but believe me, I've hung out with enough Canadians in Seattle to know what to say and what not to say to a Canadian.
Yeah, but you listen to them. That's the part I think is really cool. Like we've all hung out with Canadians, but you listen to them enough to know that stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's I I don't I want to make this podcast about you, but I had to do some research. Do you remember hearing about the World Extreme Pencil Fighting Championships?
No.
Okay, so basically, what happened was when the Seattle Pro Wrestling got outlawed, basically they passed some laws to make pro wrestling impossible for any small group to have it. Like the WWE could come in and sell out the Key Arena or something, but the small groups basically they passed laws where you couldn't wrestle. So so people like Owen Straw mainly formed this thing called the World Extreme Pencil Fighting Championships, where it's pro wrestling, same storylines, but you pencil fight. And I looked around and everything was oversexed or over aggressive or just completely over crazy. And I thought there could be just a character who's nice, polite, and simple to be a crowd favorite. So I figured a Canadian. So I was the Canadian, and I was the guy who would go in the crowd, handshake with everybody. I would ask to interfere if there was a match going on, and I was so polite that I instantly became a hit.
Oh, that's such a great idea, man. That is really funny.
And the funny thing is to get the Canadian accent, and this is something I haven't told anybody. I just impersonated your speech style with a heavy Wisconsin accent. So Canadian. So the way to get a Canadian accent is a heavy Wisconsin accent mixed with a Hawaiian accent, and you got Canada.
Oh, that's so great. And I will say when I go to Canada, it is like finding my tribe. I mean, they are they apologize as much as I do, which is amazing to me. Just they are I can see that that there is a link. If you were trying to put a character together
Yeah,
like that, there's a link because I get it. I do. Some say I apologize too much, but I can see that working, and it kind of makes me laugh.
yeah, yeah. So we're about 21 minutes in, and I want to make it pretty, an abbreviated episode, just because I know you got a lot to do, because you got to start digitizing all your merchandise. Um, I would like to hear from you. And although you don't have crazy comedy stories, because you're always the guy who, as soon as the show's over, you go back to the hotel, you call the wife, and then you go to sleep. But do you have any, like, mid 90s crazy comedy stories?
Oh man, I honestly don't. I'm trying. Oh boy, now I'm on the spot trying to think of anything. I met my wife in '92, so yeah, I got boring in comedy quickly.
Yeah.
And before that, I had no game or no idea, so I didn't really accomplish much before that either.
Mm.
Um,
And how about
so yeah,
a crazy show?
um, yeah, there's been a lot of those.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to edit this, but I was doing a college tour that were not good gigs. They could be really, some were good, but for the most part it was very difficult. We did 26 states in 4 months. We were doing 5 to 7 shows a week, all at different colleges, and then we were touring in a van. And we had a show in Waco, Texas at Baylor that was, they forgot they booked us, and they had a big Renaissance thing. You know, one of those things where they have, like, one area has jousting, another area has, a big Renaissance fair. And so they forgot they had us, so we show up for a nooner gig, which we thought was going to be in, like, the cafeteria, but it's outside at this big Renaissance thing. And so we had no audience because it's timed, right? Like, you go see the jousting, you go see this or that, and then you go to everything. So people kind of move in this sort of function of seeing all these different things. And so now the kids, we've been waiting for an hour and a half to start the show, and the kids went and forced some of their friends to come watch the show. And so it was really, really hard. And on top of that, I'll tell you this, the second part of the show was a make me laugh game show where the three of us would we bring in, someone would volunteer to come sit in a chair, and we'd each have a minute to try and make them laugh. And we had a case full of props and all this stuff, and you had to try and make them laugh. And man, it was, if you didn't laugh at 3 comedians a minute each, you got a T-shirt. It really was to the point where at one point I came out with a T-shirt, handed it to the guy, and I just sat there and just read. I brought a comic book out and I just read a comic book for a minute, and the timer went off. Like, it was that bad a gig. They hated us for the stand-up because their friends were forcing them to watch us. And then we had to do a Make Me Laugh, and no one laughed at all. No one got disqualified. We had 4 contestants, and they all sat through a minute of each of us without moving their face. It was the funniest thing. It was horrible at the time, but it was really funny. And they had us in a tent, so we were like an outside tent, sharing it with a falconer, a guy who had falcons.
Falconer?
Yeah. So he had these 6 falcons sitting on stumps, on wooden stumps, and he got mad at us because we had pre-show music, right? Well, we always set that up. It's part of our sound system, set the system, we had pre-show music. And so he kept coming over and trying to turn the sound down, but he didn't know which one was volume. So he just was like moving buttons, and the equalizer was going, and feedback and all this. And we almost had a fight with this guy. Because they're like, dude, you can't just come touch it. And he goes, you're scaring my falcon. He was so freaked out. And we're like, well, we can turn it down. Well, you got to turn it down. You scared my falcon. And I look at the falcons. They're literally just sitting on the stumps. They weren't flapping wings. They weren't trying to kill anybody. They were literally sitting on the stumps. And so the kids who booked us on the show, they wouldn't deal with the falcon guy. They wouldn't deal with this fight. They just kind of left us deal with it. So yeah, man. So it was really one of the longest days to wait an hour and a half to have that show, to almost fight with a falconer. And then to have to do a stupid game show with props, and not even come close to succeeding, just to eat it badly in the game show part of it. And that's one thing. It's one thing to have a bad show, but it's another thing to have a bad show and know that you're about to have a bad game show. That's the worst.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you get paid?
Yeah. We did get paid. It's the only reason we finished that show.
Then it was a great gig.
I guess you're right.
Exactly.
Not only did we get paid that night, we spent a big chunk of that pay on beer, if I remember right. Because it was like, you know what, we're gonna get drunk. And that's one thing about when you have a bad gig that's a nooner, you have a lot of time to think about it. So yeah, we went and had dinner and got pretty drunk that night.
Oh, perfect. All right, Kermit, always a pleasure speaking to you. When baseball does get started again, we will have that opening day preview. But Kerm, you, in my eyes, you're a legend, and I absolutely adore you.
You're way too nice, man. That feeling is mutual. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, take care, Kermit.
Bye, buddy.